Welcome into another edition of The Butcher versus the Spin Instructor. I'm Neil McCready. We're brought to you by LB's Meat Market, right there, 2008 University Avenue in Oxford, kind of across the street from Kroger, but a hell of a lot more fun to shop at than Kroger, I'll tell you that. You can head over into LB's like I did last weekend. Don't forget the frozen stuff is on your left. You can grab it. It's fresh. It's awesome. It's just been frozen. You can thaw it quickly, and you can save $2 if you're in a hurry. You want to save a couple of bucks. Greg doesn't mind. You can grab the stuff out of the freezer, and then of course to your right, all of the fresh goodies are right there. The stuffed jalapenos, the stuffed mushrooms, bone-in pork, bone-in beef, the ribeyes, the Lane Train specials. It's all there. Fresh seafood from the Gulf and all over every Thursday, which is today. So all of that at LB's. Ole Miss off this weekend. No game for the Rebels. They have the weekend off. They'll play South Carolina in Oxford next Saturday night. But this weekend will be a good weekend to hang out. We can watch some of the other games. You don't have to worry about your team losing. And stocking up the fridge and the grill with items from LB's Meat Market would be what I personally would recommend that you do. Greg, Campbell, how are you all?
Good.
We're good. Ready for another weekend.
Yep.
So I just got through talking about LB's because I love LB's. What did I miss?
I don't think you really missed anything, That's a very nice virtual tour of LB's that you just put in everybody's head. So
I know what I did miss. I missed the sausages.
Yeah, that was about the only thing I was going to say. The fresh sausage case is always full and ready for you to pick out. We got a lot of different types of sausages. We got the Harvest Apple which is a brown sugar and apple sausage. You got the ribeye sausage, which is very popular, and the Swayze sausage is very popular. And then we did a spicy garlic chicken sausage this week. So
Ooh.
we tried kind of very similar to the chicken jalapeno, but it's got more of a garlic base. But yeah, we're ready to go. Another weekend in the books.
How often do you just decide, hey, I'm going to experiment with the sausage? Just because I know, like one time you threw some blueberries in one, and
yeah, we actually do a Blue Dream, and it's very popular. It's just very similar to the Harvest Apple, but it's got Mississippi blueberries, and it's got some Delta cane syrup in it. So it's a very similar breakfast sausage. But yeah, I mean, putting up different combinations is always fun. And like I said, that spicy garlic chicken is something we put together, and it sounds good. So we rolled with it.
And you got the seafood in this weekend as well. So as we get into November, start getting closer to the holiday time, a lot of times people do some special things with seafood, and Greg can accommodate you there at LB's, from the lobster to the scallops to fresh fish. Shrimp, of course, all of that there at LB's, and the quality is always fantastic. You can call ahead, or you can just stop in and do what I love to do, which is just sort of browse. All right, so let's get in. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I had somebody walk in. I'm what's that? Not that I know of. All right, sorry about that.
No, you're good. No, you're all good. It's no problem. We're not trying to win an Emmy here at the Butcher versus the Spin Instructor. But if we do, hey, awesome. All right, last week, Greg went 3-3. Campbell went 4-2. So this competition is now tilted slightly in Campbell's favor, unless we did this thing like in Michigan or Pennsylvania or something, in which we just we'd find a bunch of games for Greg, and who knows what might happen at the end. But all right, so you guys, Campbell has a 1-game lead. She's 25-19 for the season. Greg's 24-20. So it's still very much anyone's contest here for the football season. And this week, there's only 4 games in the SEC. So I said, you know what? Let's throw some wild cards in, see what happens. So we'll start with one of those wild cards. Michigan is at Indiana. Big Ten, a couple of Big Ten teams. Indiana off to a fast start. Games in Bloomington, Michigan, a 3-point favorite. Greg?
I know that Michigan lost last week as a 20-point favorite to a Michigan State team, and I don't know if the Harbaugh era is going to be continuing. I don't know. He has lost a lot of big games, but I mean, I don't know who they can hire to replace him. But I like Indiana here. I like a home dog, and of course, Michigan might bounce back really good this week. But I like the home dog. I like it. I like Indiana here.
Campbell, I know you watch a ton of Big Ten football, so I'm fascinated to hear your thoughts on this one. The Wolverines and the Hoosiers there in Bloomington. What do you think?
Well, one of my friends from middle school, she moved because her coach or her dad was an assistant coach at Ole Miss, and then they moved to Florida, somewhere in Florida, I think.
Yeah, they went to South Florida.
South Florida. Her name's Brittany Allen. We were in Spanish together, but now her dad is the coach at Indiana.
Yep.
So I'm going to pick Indiana this week.
Yep, Tom Allen, who one of the really good guys I've ever covered, was on I guess he was on Breeze's staff. Yeah, so he's now the head coach at Indiana. Super guy, and a really good friend of mine, Kane Womack, who was Dave Womack, who is Dave Womack's son. Kane was a GA at Ole Miss for a while when he was here. He's now the defensive coordinator at Indiana. So I catch myself cheering for the Hoosiers a good bit. I'm afraid Michigan's going to get them Saturday, but I hope both of you are right. I hope both of you get a W here. Indiana getting the 3 points at home against Michigan. Another interesting game. I've been loyal to the Big 12 this year because had it not been for the Big 12, I'm not sure we're talking about SEC football either. West Virginia, a 7-point underdog at Texas. Campbell, you're up.
Well, I had to go on Google for this one.
Yeah.
But I found oddshark.com.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
And they're picking West Virginia to win 31-26.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with them this week.
So you're taking the Mountaineers and the points. You're going to take the underdog and get 7 points. That's not a bad pick at all. Greg, what do you think?
I've got to make up some ground, so I mean, hopefully the eyes of Texas lay upon me this weekend. And
just don't sing the song, Greg. Don't.
Yeah,
sing
sorry.
the song.
I didn't mean to trigger anybody. Sorry, I apologize. But I won't sing the song, but maybe I can make up some ground with Texas this week on the game.
All right, so Campbell's got West Virginia, and she gets 7 points. Greg takes the Longhorns, and he lays the 7. That game in Austin should be a really good game. The game of the week in the SEC, Florida heads to Georgia. Well, they don't head to Georgia. Florida sort of plays Georgia at a, quote, neutral site. This game in Jacksonville, Florida. Florida, a 4.5-point underdog against Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs. Greg?
I like Georgia here. I don't know if it's still going to be called the largest cocktail party in the world if there's nobody that can go to the game. So, I like Georgia here. I think they've got some momentum, and I'm just not a Dan Mullen fan, so I'm going to go with Georgia here. I think they roll.
It will be a little bit of a party in Jacksonville. Governor DeSantis has opened it up. He's just stared straight into the eyes of the coronavirus and said, "Bring it." And they've suffered catastrophic losses in these football programs.
Yeah, well, the Florida football team, recovered from its death a week ago. So, they actually won a game last week. So, good job for them. For surviving that.
I thought it was touching, really, when they had their brawl with Missouri the other night. A lot of pent-up emotion after so many of their teammates had died from COVID, and you saw it come out in a fight, and sometimes you just have to get physical exertion out of the way when you're mourning, and you can only
social distance so much on a football field.
Yeah, I just thought it was an amazing comeback to just blow Missouri out in the second half after the fight, after so many of their teammates had perished to the coronavirus, which has killed so many college football players so far this year. It's just been a tragedy. And
there's been a couple NFL players to die also. So
yeah, a lot of NFL players have died, and a lot of the.
It's a tough world we live in right now.
Justin Turner, the Dodgers third baseman, he got COVID in the game 6 of the World Series, got taken out of the game. I'm glad that he was able to take the field at the end and celebrate a little bit, because he died. And all of the people, all of the Dodgers are dead. I mean, we will, when we open next season, the first thing we will do is remember the Dodgers. You know, remember the Titans.
Yeah.
We will remember the Dodgers as the great champions that finished off their final breaths winning a championship before COVID claimed them all. Campbell, your thoughts on Florida and Georgia?
Well, I know you went to this game and you used to always bring us back like a stuffed animal or something from the airport. Is this where you got Caroline's stuffed leopard Larry?
I'm almost 100% positive that I bought Larry the Leopard at the Knoxville, Tennessee airport. But you're right. I used to go when I was in Mobile. I covered this game for the Mobile Register every year. I would go to Jacksonville, and I always never could find like the right place to stay in Jacksonville, and I'd end up just at some dump somewhere, and I never could figure out my way around, and I hated trying to get to that stadium. And I'm not a giant Jacksonville, Florida fan. I've had people tell me that I'm missing out on the good parts of Jacksonville. I'm not a golfer, and so that's part of it. If you're a golfer, Jacksonville's awesome, but I don't golf. But no, Larry the Leopard, I'm pretty sure Larry the Leopard was purchased at in Knoxville, and he was purchased along with one of his friends there at the little store there in the airport, a stuffed giraffe. Spots was given to Campbell. Spots did not enjoy the same life that Larry the Leopard did. Larry the Leopard was loved and is still loved and cherished and was taken on countless trips and spend the night parties and
is still taken on countless trips.
Yeah. Larry the Leopard is still a constant companion of Caroline McCready. Spots the giraffe spent the better part of 15 years in a box until he was found recently. And so Spots has been adopted by Caroline. He is now reunited with his friend Larry the Leopard. And
he randomly sent in our family group message a text of the giraffe and like wrote this like whole narrative of his life that just randomly during the day the other day.
Spots the giraffe was granted clemency, and he is now he's now out of box jail. He's no longer living in an attic, and he's found new life upstairs in Caroline's room. So it's been a touching story this fall. One of the few good things to come out of 2020, Greg. Spots the giraffe.
Well, I'm gonna go with Florida. I just know you went to this game a lot. Possibly bought a stuffed animal here and there, so I'll go with that one.
There's no doubt that you have stuffed animals somewhere from the Jacksonville airport. There's literally zero doubt. We go from the best game of the week to a snoozer. Vanderbilt is an 18-point favorite at Mississippi State. This game, I think it's at 3 o'clock on the SEC network. And if you're watching this on Saturday of your own volition, get help. It's going to be okay. Reach out to someone. Reach out to someone and say, I have a problem.
Yeah, surely there's an 800 number for this on the bottom of the screen that flashes.
Has to be. If you're
watching this game, dial this number. You need help.
You need help, and it's okay. 2020's been tough on all of us. We've had a pandemic. We've had shutdowns. We've had a lot, this heated election. We've got a lot going on, and if you have reached the depths where you're watching Mississippi State and Vanderbilt voluntarily, do not feel shame, but get help because you're headed in a really bad direction and you need to catch yourself.
Yeah, there should be a half gallon of bourbon and probably or your favorite liquor in front of you if you're watching this game. For sure.
And find the remote control. Just hit something. Hit channel up, channel down, anything. I don't even know whose turn it is right now. Is it Campbell's turn to pick?
Yeah, it's mine.
Okay.
Well, I know Vanderbilt sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick Mississippi State for obvious reasons. So, I mean, I don't think I have to say anything else for that.
You think they cover the line? State covers the 18?
Yes.
Okay. Greg?
I think this is going to be a 0-0 game deep into the fourth quarter, and I think somebody will snap it over the kicker's head, and somebody will get a safety. Somebody will win 2-0. I'm going to have to go with Vanderbilt. I think State is an absolute disaster, and if the purge is on, then I would not want to be a part of it. So I'm going to go with a really, really terrible football team in Vanderbilt, and just hopefully it's a 3-2 football game, or 7-2 or something like that. But whoever scores the first touchdown is going to win, probably.
This game would be fitting to finish at like 3-2. It would be very appropriate. All right, what should be an interesting game. Texas A&M, a 7.5-point favorite at South Carolina. The Aggies have played awfully well of late. South Carolina has been a roller coaster, which is pretty typical for the Will Muschamp era there in Columbia. This game in Columbia at, I believe, 6 p.m. on ESPN. Greg?
Like you were saying, it's going to be an interesting game. What South Carolina team's going to show up? I'm going to take the South Carolina here. And just enroll with it. It's a big night game for them, and they got Ole Miss coming up next, and I don't think they're looking forward, but I think Ole Miss is probably going to reap benefit on this because good rest week for them, and come out and take advantage of a South Carolina team that's about to play a tough game. And you're saying Texas A&M's playing some good ball, but I like the points here. I think a late field goal is going to win it or lose it for South Carolina here on this. All
right, so Greg takes the Gamecocks and the 7.5 points. Campbell?
I'm going to agree with him. Everyone here is pretty upset after the game last week. We were so excited too. We all went to Walmart and got like food. I made pigs in a blanket.
Yeah.
My friend went and got like little hog cookies, and then I stopped watching because I was bored. But when do I watch the whole game really, no matter what? But anyways, I'm gonna go with South Carolina, and I was doing my Google searches, and the coach's nickname is Boom. Not sure why, but I like his nickname. Well, I like his nickname, so I'm going to agree with Greg here. I'm taking South Carolina.
All right, both taking the Gamecocks, both getting 7.5 points. Big opportunity for Boom here. It's Boom versus Jimbo. If there's ever been a more Southern coaching game, I don't know what it would be. Jimbo versus Boom. That screams SEC right there. Campbell will go up to Arkansas now. Tennessee is a 1.5-point favorite at Arkansas. This game in Fayetteville at 6:30 p.m. You can see it on the SEC network. It is an impossible ticket. Our mutual friend Robert Sheeran was asking me about tickets, and he said he can't find them. And the ones that are out there on the secondary market are super expensive, which I guess is a good sign for the enthusiasm in Fayetteville for this one. What do you think?
Obviously hoping Arkansas pulls through a win here, and everyone's been asking for tickets in my group text that I'm in. So everyone's excited for this one, and we're going to one of my family friends' houses to watch it. So I'm really excited. So obviously going to pick Arkansas here. Hopefully we win because it's super fun when we do. So
before we get Greg's pick, these are the kind of games that are make me kind of sad that the stadiums can't be full and all that stuff.
Everyone would go.
Because there's a lot of Tennessee kids that go to Arkansas because of the neighboring state thing. And Tennessee and Arkansas don't play every year. And so this would be a fun kind of a party weekend in a normal setting. And instead it's 20%, I think, is the max that they allow in the stadium there and all that stuff. And it just, I don't know. Sometimes if I let myself go too far down some of these things mentally, it kind of bums me out a little bit.
I'll say, whenever, as much as I wish it was full, whenever Ole Miss came here, the stadium, even though it wasn't like, it was probably like 25% occupancy, it was like, it felt like there was some, like, because everybody was screaming and so excited. So hopefully it's the same way this week.
It's like Florida, Georgia, I think Florida has a real shot this year, and the Gator fans have been waiting for a long time to beat Georgia, and that's such a fun game, and they all get together. It's literally half and half, and I miss those environments a little bit. Anyway, Greg, I didn't mean to steal your turn there. Tennessee and Arkansas. Campbell's taking the Hogs and getting 1.5. What about you?
Man, as bad as Tennessee's been the last couple of weeks, it's really hard to take them. But I got to make up some ground here somehow. So, because she's good at her picks. That little Google machine is really working out for her. So, might need to start Googling. No, I'm going to have to take Tennessee. I mean, I really like Arkansas here, but I'm just taking Tennessee to hopefully make up some ground on her.
All right, last game. This is the big game in the nation. Top-ranked Clemson heads to Notre Dame. The Irish ranked number 4. Both of these teams obviously unbeaten. This is essentially a playoff game of sorts within the ACC. Clemson and Notre Dame, this game kicks off at 6:30. Also, you can watch it on NBC. And, Greg, you're up.
And is Trevor Lawrence dead?
He is. Let's have a moment of silence for Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Okay.
It's really sad that one of the best college football players dies before a big game like this, and
he's still been at practice though, even though he's dead.
Oh, okay. So he's okay. That's good.
Yeah.
So
it's a COVID death.
I think Notre Dame. I hate to take Notre Dame here, but I think Trevor Lawrence is a big factor in that Clemson offense, and a team like Boston College went in there and got up on them and should have won the game maybe, but Clemson has that resilience about them. But I think I'm going to take Notre Dame on this. I like Notre Dame this weekend.
That first half of Boston College Clemson was as well coached a half as I have ever seen. The Boston College coach, they had a great plan. I mean, they executed that plan to perfection. It was beautiful. They just ran out of time. Clemson had more talent and enough time, and they overcame it. But that was fun for a little bit watching Boston College play the way they played, because it was just let it all hang out and see what happens, and it worked, and it was fun. And I'm with you. I was like cheering for them by the end. I'm like, come on, hang on. But you knew they weren't going to. Campbell, what do you think?
Well, every time we have a Notre Dame game, I always pick them just because a guy from high school went to Notre Dame. So, I don't know if it's worked for me. I don't remember.
2-0 on Notre Dame games.
Yeah, 2-0. Yeah, she's 2-0.
I think it might be good luck, so I'm going to pick Notre Dame.
All right, so you guys both.
They are the Irish, so I mean, there is luck involved. So,
yeah, and McCrady's are Irish, bound to be, right? I mean, it's bound to be an Irish name. All right, so you guys both taking the Irish. You're both getting the 6.5 points. So should be a fun weekend. Again, West Virginia, Texas, Michigan, Indiana, Florida, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. God, Lord, Tennessee, Arkansas, A&M. South Carolina, Clemson, Notre Dame. So a fun weekend of football, even though there's no Ole Miss game to watch. There's lots of football to watch. Make your football watching experience even better by stocking up at LB's Meat Market, 2008 University Avenue in Oxford. Greg, if people want to get in touch with you or find out a little bit more, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, just always call the store, 662-259-2999. Come in, take advantage of those freezer situation. You can come in and stock your whole freezer up, and and save $2 on everything. So, like Neil was saying, definitely take advantage of the $2 off in the freezer. The truck's just pulled in, so we'll have a bunch of fresh fish ready this afternoon, and it's going to be a good weekend. The weather's going to be really nice. So take advantage of it, and get out there and enjoy yourself, and just in general, just stay positive on everything. I know the world's kind of a weird situation right now, but just wake up and appreciate what you got. And we're going to get through this regardless of what the election turns out. But just stay positive on everything is my message to everybody.
Yep, I'm going to light my grill and do something on Saturday and turn election stuff off and turn on some games and just chill. And what I did on earlier in the week, I had, to your point, every time I go into LB's, pretty much I'll grab something out of the freezer and just throw it in my bag. And we had some Wagyu burgers that I'd gotten frozen, I don't know when, weeks ago, and let those thaw out. And those were fantastic. That was easy. I mean, they were already just put a little salt and pepper on them on the grill. Boom. Great. They were fantastic. So all of that stuff's there in the freezer. He's got it sorted out: sausages, beef, pork, The bone-in pork chops there are absolutely fantastic. Grab a couple of those out of the freezer, put them in cold water for an hour. They're thawed. You saved yourself a couple of bucks, and it's fantastic. So enjoy the weekend, guys. Campbell, I know you got a spin class tonight, and then you're through for the weekend. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have any themes going on at the spin place today?
Well, not this week, but I want to do a Hannah Montana ride. I don't know if you know who Hannah Montana is.
Wait, doesn't she have two names? Is that her?
That's Miley Cyrus, her Disney Channel show.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's Miley Cyrus, not Hannah Montana?
Well, it's Hannah Montana, but it's
Okay.
Miley's singing.
Okay.
But,
So a Hannah Montana mix spin.
yeah.
Oh,
That sounds good. Sounds fun. All right. Well, enjoy your weekend in Fayetteville. Good luck to the Hogs. And everybody go check out LB's. You'll love it. And thanks for watching this edition of The Butcher versus the Spin Instructor presented by LB's Meat Market. We'll be back next week with week number 9. Again, Ole Miss back on the docket next week. The Rebels entertain the Gamecocks, 6:30 next Saturday night in Oxford. So you can be thinking about how you can get stocked up for that weekend as well as the Rebels and the Gamecocks get together in Oxford. Until then, for Campbell McCready, for Greg Jones, I'm Neil McCready. Take care.